had, scored all over his mug. A nasty little bottle-glazed blur buried his eyes, like blemishes they were, on his soul. He had a tattoo too, on his neck, 37139, his number. A crooked, crappy-faced little number if you ask me. Or even if you don't. I wound down the window and he stuck his clock right in it. Crooked, crappy face grinning on. Birmingham. So I'm on and he hops in next to me. I shift into gear and away we go.
Thank you very much, my good friend. We are in a storm, you know. A maelstrom of tears and struggle. The choral, chordal cacophony of life's lost coda, isn't it?
Oh, Jesus. I've got a weirdo. Why do I always have to pick up the weirdos? I saw that crooked, crappy-faced little number. Should have just driven on. Yes, mate. Better than hell, though. And I chuckled.
It is not a joke. It is a disaster. Plaster over the cracks. You cannot. The pendulum's weight has slipped. It's swinging crazily. The cogs no longer connect. We are spinning into oblivion. The void, the vapor, the dark mists of non-existence.
Have a fag, mate. Jeez, he gave me such a look. Disdain? A complaint? But he didn't have the right, did he? It's my motor, right? I could have just pulled over and kicked him out. Him and his crooked, crappy-faced grin. But then he shot me that look. It leapt out of his poxy bottle-glazed gaze. You could only call them an excuse for a pair of eyes. Christ, all I did was ask him if he wanted a ciggy.
Mega death upon your lips. A hype on life's nihilism. Fire upon the lips. Burn. Burn. Here, have one of mine.
Bloody hell, a hypocrite. A friggin' hypocrite weirdo. Cheers, mate. Got a light? And I kept my eyes on the road in case I got bottle glazed again. But he passed me a ciggy, already lit. Now that annoyed me so much. But seeing as how I'm a reasonable kind of guy, I gritted my teeth, then took a deep pull on his American cigarette. Flash bastard. So what's all this maelstrom business? You work for the post office?
Valhalla cocks a snook at Delphi. Urns of excrement crumbling in the ruins. Crackpots, despots, they ride the hot-blooded, black-winged steeds of men. They rain terror on the heads of the starving, while they tell us that the Greek shall inherit the earth. Get it?
Well, of course I didn't, but I bet you don't either. So I scratched my head and looked at him out of the corner of my eye, and he shot me again. A right bottle glazer it was, straight into the side of my bloodshot, seared across my cornea it did. Took about an eyeball.
It's the last day. The maelstrom is upon us. It's the zenith, the peak, the full flower of lotus.
Christ, what a weirdo. And he was still bloody grinning, that crappy face grin. So you want to spend your last day in Birmingham, do you? I was being ironic, you know, but it was straight over his head. Didn't notice I was taking the piss.
It's the only place. It's the middle. The armies of the south bring pestilence on the horsemen of the north. No, there's no better place to be than Birmingham today.
We're nearly there, mate.
Good.
Grief, I should have just kept my mouth shut. And he was still bleeding grinning. I wondered if he knew the Cheshire Cat. Then he was grinning even more, like he'd read my mind or something. That crappy face gob was really getting to me, so I decided to pull over and drop him off. I'd had enough of that weirdo. But I don't get much chance for a conversation, and the next thing I hear myself say... So what's the number? The number on your neck?
It's to get me in, where all fireworks blow. It's my path to Nirvana, the Elysian Fields, Cornucopia, Paradiso. It's my get out from Gehenna.
Well, I expect you know that in Europe you still see them sometimes with tattoos on their necks. The ex-cons, I mean. And I I saw that crooked, crappy-faced little number when he stuck his clock in my window, and I thought maybe he needed a hand. And yes, maybe he did. Now listen, we were in the middle lane, right? Straight on 70. We were just coming into Birmingham, and there was a weird, wide light stretched across the sky. A dusk light at dawn, I told myself. Pretty sky.
The light of dusk upon the last dawn of the world. The great gateway for those with numbers.
And we drove on into this morning sunset. It was like there was nothing else except him and his crappy, crooked-faced grin. It seemed there was no traffic, no road even, just me and him in the car surrounded by that weird light. Oh yeah, and his bleeding bottle-glazed eyes. Now, you might not believe this, but next thing I know...
Thanks, friend.
But as he goes, that light disappears and I'm alone. Loads of traffic either side of me. The road chocker behind and ahead. Anyway, I managed to pull over onto the hard shoulder and I called the police. They never found a trace of him. Not a scrap. Not a hair from his head. Not a tooth. Not a toenail. Not even a bottle-glazed eyeball did they find. Nothing. No one came forward. There went dozens of phone calls reporting a suicidal maniac leaping out of a car in the rush hour. And when I told the law about the weird, wide light that crossed the span of the sky, they shook their heads in disbelief. It was his get out from Gehenna, I told them. They said I should see a doctor. Piss takers.